Welcome to Spurs Vision TV. First of all, I'd like to say, of course, good morning to wherever you're all in the world. It's 3:45 a.m. here in Malaysia. So whoever's watching from Malaysia, good morning to you. If not, then of course, good afternoon, good evening to all you guys from the rest of the world. Right, guys. Welcome to Spurs Vision TV. Today is going to be an exciting day, right? It's the North London derby. So I guess let's see what's going to happen from there. This game, I don't know. It's going to be important for us. It's more important for Arsenal. We're 13 in the league, guys. Right? We've dropped down one more spot because yesterday, who won? West Ham won. Oh, it is what it is. So how we can say, I know I'll be having a guest on soon, right? Mani will be joining me. So one matter I have to settle first, right? Guys, I've got to say this, right? Soul, right? Sol Campbell, right? I don't know. He came out with an advertisement that was, I don't know, how I said, turning his back on Spurs or some sort of way, right? Putting away the whites and all that things, right? And wearing a red sweater, dusting his trophy, medals and all that. So, for Google phone, right? Pixel or something like that, right? So I know maybe he got well paid by them to do that because that really pissed off a lot of Spurs fans, right? I don't hate him, in my own opinion, right? What I can say is he's shown a side that I guess I understand why a lot of the Spurs fans dislike him. I don't like to say the word hate, right? So you deserve what you get, and you gotta stop asking the Spurs fans to forgive you or forget about it or the blah blah blah, right? Until you show some sincerity from your side, right? Because I've not say defended you, but I've never actually taken a side on anything. But now I see this, now I understand why. So, Mr. Campbell, if you really want the Spurs fans to, let's say, not to say forgive you, forget about it, right? You have to take that step first, right? And of course, the interview with Don Robbie and you, right? What you said about the hierarchy, what they did during that period of time in your life, I understand, right? Being young and scared and not understanding the situation, why like you're being abandoned by the people that you are, were supposed to look after you. So I understand that. Was it out of spite? That's why you joined the other side and caused so much controversy. I know you want things there too, right? So, big up to you for that. But now I think I see certain things where if you really want the Spurs fan to, some of them will forgive you, but hopefully they forget about all this and stop piling the hate on you, right? And so that maybe you move to another country and they'll forget about you. But if not, then if you're still around, they'll see you, they'll remember it, and it is what it is. So you deserve what you get, right? So that's all I'm gonna say. Right. All right, guys. North London derby today, right? I'm calling it the embarrassing derby because Spurs embarrassingly won against a non-league side in the FA Cup after 100 minutes and after an own goal. Then the scoreline became 3-0. So I don't even want to go there, right? So I'm saying I was lucky I didn't do a watch along for that game. If not, I'll be like swearing all the whole stream through, right? All right, guys. So let's look at our lineups now, right? Today, I guess to tell the truth, right? Ever since Kinski's come in, the 2 games he's played, he's put more confidence in the back line with his playing the ball with his feet, right? He looks like he can do that, right? He knows what to do with it. And he has the confidence to do it, right? We've seen it, right? His catches in the air, right? He doesn't punch. He catches it in the air, right? So we get back possession, right? Not just punch it out and hope that we get back possession, right? Still looks good, right, at the moment, right? And of course, the only thing I've been saying, right, is shot stopping. That's all, right? He's been tested, I think, a few times. He conceded a goal. No, he has not conceded a goal ever since he's been in at the moment, right? So he hasn't conceded a goal. So I guess he's doing okay. So that's the Liverpool game, and of course that's the Tam. So today, I think it will be a good test for him, right, to see what he does. Okay, poor Porro, he's still being played. I guess we have no choice because if you look at our subs, unless we're going to put Reggie in and take Porro out, I guess Porro still have to play. Radu and Gray, there is no choice there too because, like you said, right, what other defenders do we have in the lineup, right? Hold on while I wait for Money to come in. Let me see. Okay, Money, we'll bring Money in now. Haven't seen Money in a long time. Hi, Money.
Eugene, as always, salamat datang to you, sir. Long time it has been indeed.
Yes, yes, yes. How do you say in Tamil? Is it Vanakam?
Yes,
No.
and
Yeah.
you got the vocabulary spot on. It's not surprising, really, because I think you know that there is a huge Tamil diaspora
Yeah,
living in
yeah, yeah.
Malaysia.
Yes, yes, yes. We do know some, bad words and all that. So.
That's the thing. The foul language is always the first and easiest to learn, but I'm so glad that you are not using that with me, and that is to the respect that we have for one another.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. No, I just started the show, right? I don't know, right? Did you see what Sol Campbell did?
I did, and
Yeah,
too sure why Sazier would do something like that, to be honest, because you know, obviously, like I think this might be the best time to talk about it because I remember him when he made his played in his debut season for Spurs, and if memory serves me right, that was the season that Jurgen Klinsmann came to the club for the first time. And also, if memory serves me right, you had a 12-point deduction, reduced to 6 on appeal, and it kind of you because you missed out on European places. He looked quite impressive in the games that he played, and I think he started out as an offensive player, but then moved to becoming a defender. And he was, of course, the captain, I think, when Spurs won the League Cup, if memory serves me right. But in your opinion, what do you think it was that prompted him to make the move across North London?
I don't know. Did you watch the Don Robbie interview, right, in the beginning part where he says that there was an assault case against him and the hierarchy was paying for his legal fees until about 3/4 of the way, right? And then they said they will stop and they wanted him to take a plea deal or something like that. But when he appointed his own lawyers, right, they found out that this matter could have been solved 8 months earlier or a year earlier because it could have been thrown out earlier. So I guess he felt disappointed in that. So I don't know. All I know is during that period of time, I guess Sugar was in charge with David Pleat and maybe one more person. I can't remember the name, right? And that period of time, I think Enid was starting to take control of Spurs because he stayed until about 2001. So that incident happened, I think, in the period of it was the game against Derby or something. Something happened in the tunnel, right? And then so I guess he was let down there emotionally as a 23-year-old
Okay, listen,
child.
this is a problem. I'll have to cut in because I can't hear you. I'll have to go out and come back, and we'll pick up where you've just left off.
Yeah. Go ahead. All right, Manny's got some technical issues. Guys, actually, I'm watching the Everton Aston Villa game, right? Everton is putting a good fight, guys. After we play Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, our next game is Everton away. So, yeah, Aston Villa is finding it quite hard to break them down. Moyes have solidified them a bit at the moment now. They still look quite good, but I'm gonna go back over to the Spurs channel. Hold on, let me change this. All right, let's get to the Spurs game. What's happening in the Spurs game? Oh, it's gonna start at 4 p.m. Not so soon. All right, guys, Money will be back soon. So while he waiting for him to come back to talk about Seoul. Okay, Manny's back now. All right, let me put it on. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear, loud and clear. So you were talking about the assault case, which I think obviously what you said was that Alan Sugar had something to do with it, yes?
Yeah, Alan Sugar and David Teed and all that. So I think he felt abandoned at that time. So, being a 23-year-old child, right? So in the football life, I don't know, maybe mentally he was affected. So that's why when the chance came up for him to move, right? And he did say something about the interview that he said that he won't leave or anything. There was context after there was another part that wasn't added on. So I don't know. But all I can tell you, right, when he came and said all these things, right, I felt a bit for him, right? I understood. But then when he did that video, right, I mean, when he did the advertisement, they were saying, WTF, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It looks like he's lost some credibility from my side, right? The feelings, or maybe some of the fans who feel it. Now I understand why a lot of fans hate him, or I don't hate him, I don't care, right? I mean, he's grown up, he made his choices. But to me, is that don't show double face, and then after that cry, that why can't Spurs fans forget about it and forgive him or whatever, blah blah blah. It's so long.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So
we're gonna
until all those Spurs fans die off, then you will know, right? Or until you pass away, then I don't know. So
yeah, so I'm just taking a look at the team news. I was mentioning the Czech keeper Kinski, who's come in. He's not going to be the new Petr Cech, but he might be his own different person. And it's solid.
Usual to me, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah. No, I say Kinski coming in now, right? To tell the truth, right? The 2 games he's played, right? Our back has a bit more composure, and I think the players feel a bit more confident with his with him having the ball at his feet. You guys, and he has not showed any blunders at the moment in 2 games, right? And he showed confidence, and he knows what he's doing. So I guess maybe that's solid. I mean, given a little bit of maybe a spark of life into the defense. Maybe that's it.
Looks
right?
that way.
Yeah, but to tell you true, we lost Radu and
because Bergvall seems to be playing the 10. I wonder if Maddison will come on later and maybe have an impact just like he did in the corresponding fixture last season. Fortunately for us, there's no Georgie Porgy, so hopefully no mistakes.
Yeah. Okay, let's read through my lineup, then we'll go through your lineup quickly because the game's going to start in about a minute's time, right? Okay, guys. Kinski, Porro, Radu, Gray, Spence, Desart, Decky, Bergwall, Solanke, Son as captain. I guess that's the strongest team you can play, right, Manny?
Well, I mean, like Madders obviously adds a bit more to the team, but maybe Ange wants to keep him on his toes and maybe bring him on as an impact sub. Other big news is that Charleston is back. And it's very interesting to see Reguilon, the left back, coming back into the picture when everyone thought that his days were up. I wonder if Ange sees a role for him, especially given that you're still in 2 cup competitions and in Europe.
I don't think Ange sees a role for him. I think Ange has just got no one else to play at the moment. So that is his problem, right? He didn't actually. Either you bring someone from the academy to fill that void, but he doesn't trust the academy, so he's put in Reggie still there. So I guess he'll still be here. Right? But okay. While that's happening, let's look at your lineup.
Well, the game's just started, and one thing which I can tell you there has been a lot of thought about whether or not David Raya should be starting because he has started to look a little bit sloppy and lackadaisical. Still capable of some camera saves, but the problem is he's starting to become a little bit like Ramsdale. And why he was eventually forced out was because he started to take things a little bit too easy. That penalty shootout performance against Manchester United was an absolute disgrace, I have to say. And but he starts tonight instead of the online Bournemouth captain Neto. And we've got Sterling on the right wing because of Saka and Nwaneri's injury. Sterling didn't look
Mhm.
too bad against Manchester United, but he still hasn't quite made an impact. So it could very well be that these games where Arteta's job should be on the line could very well be where Sterling gets into action. And we've just played 1 minute. I don't know if it's kicked off where you are, but I can tell
I'm
you
at
that Declan Rice is.
I'm at 30, 41, 42, 43. All I can
Okay.
say now is Arsenal has a free kick, right? So yeah, Kinski
Yeah,
kicked
and
it out,
Declan
but
Rice is just about
yeah.
to be towards the penalty area, hoping to find
Hey,
Gabriel's head.
yeah.
Of the Spurs defense
Big up
do
Eva, man. Good morning.
back with us.
Yeah, good morning to Eva, man, from Hong Kong all the way. 4 a.m., just like me, suffering Spurs fan, right, Eva? Oh, dear.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so what happens from this? Eva will let me know, right? If it's there a goal,
yeah, I
it's
don't
not
know
a
if I can
goal.
hear you, and I can't,
Uh,
so I'm going to have to come back. I'll probably sort of keep dropping in and out every now and then
all
because of the
right,
way things are. Still on my mobile phone, but I have given
no
my
worries.
PC for repair. Hopefully, once that comes back repaired, I won't be using this mobile phone anymore. But I will be back, Eugene.
Yeah, don't worry. Once you're back, I'll bring you back in. All right, guys. Arsenal's got the ball. They put it back, right, all the way to I think that's Lewis Skelly, right? Raheem Sterling loses the ball. Burkwell steals it from Sterling. Burkwell cuts across. Sterling manhandles Burkwell, and Spurs get a free kick in the middle of the park. And we kick it back to Archie Gray. Archie Gray gives it to Radu. Dragos in. Look at Kinski. He's halfway up out of his penalty box. My God, I guess he's gonna get punished today, right? And Kinski, oh my gosh. Oh. Spurs overplays again. Kinski just got his feet to it. Hey, Manny.
Yep.
Yeah. You see that? Kinski? Oh, he was like outside of his penalty box, right? And then we lose the ball, right? Kinski, you better wake up, right? We lose the ball too often, so you better don't play that kind of. Oh. All right, Arsenal's in control.
The thing is, though, with Austin on the bench, is Forster still sick?
Yeah.
That is a
He might as well
horrible
be
bug.
sick, right? Yeah. Okay, Arsenal's. I guess yeah, a lot of you guys were saying, right? Arsenal ain't gonna sit back like what happened in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They're coming at us, right? So let's see what happens from there. Arsenal gets the ball and a back heel, cute back heel, and Lewis Kelly. Who is that? Yeah, corner. Yep,
No.
you
That
again.
was just I had to close Instagram, and there was an advertisement that was playing. I can tell you, of course, that I was watching the Everton Aston Villa game. David Moyes' return to Goodison.
Yeah, I was saying earlier. Yeah.
Games he have managed 700 Premier League games, a huge landmark, and some really frenetic action with Aston Villa having the better chances, but not quite being able to put them away. And you've got Aston Villa in the FA Cup at Villa Park not too long from now.
And we've got Everton after you guys. So yeah, I was watching it earlier. Yeah, but Arsenal gets a corner, right? And all the way, it passes all the way through. And it flies all the way through to a goal kick. So I was asking, Manny, Lewis Kelly from the youth,
Skelly.
from your academy.
Lewis Skelly. Yeah, Miles Lewis Skelly is also very much a Hale End product, and he's been sort of brought in to sort of try and plug a gap on the left. It's quite clear that neither Zinchenko nor Calafiori can be trusted. And Lewis Skelly himself is a midfielder. So
But
it's yet another bloke who's inverted and who's trying to play that way. My biggest prayer right now, Eugen, is that Arteta will be sacked and we have a coach who doesn't adopt this ridiculous inverted nonsense and we go back to playing a classical left back. Sadly, it won't be for Kieran Tierney because I think a deal has been agreed for him to head back over to Celtic.
okay,
But you know, so far we've had most of the attack. I'm happy that Timber is back on his rightful position at right back, right back at right back. You saw what I did there,
yeah.
and it could very well be that Lewis Skelly ends up starting until the end of the season. So far, he's held his own very well. He hasn't been tested. But as I said, Raya has looked very sloppy of late in some respects. And if Arsenal were to lose today and he might be at fault, he could very well end up being dropped. And I'll tell you something, these next two games against Ange and Emery, both at the Emirates, could very well see him be forced to abdicate at the end of the season. My good friend Kenny Ken, who's actually at the Emirates, has told me, I mean, made it crystal clear that if things don't improve, Arteta could end up resigning. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that the emperor has no clothes.
Arteta resigning? Why should he resign unless he's been asked to, right?
No, but listen, I mean, like, I don't know if you've, obviously you might know a lot about 80s pop, and there was this pop music, and there was this wonderful song called Gimme Hope Joanna by Eddie Grant, which was sort of, sung, yeah. And that particular song was sort of written during the time of apartheid as a means of trying to raise awareness about it and trying to hope for the end of apartheid before Nelson Mandela became president. And there's a line over there near the very end. Can't you see that the tide is turning? Don't make me wait till the morning comes. And of course, the line before that says, I want to know if you're blind, Arteta. Can you hear the sound of drums or something like that? So a lot of these performances have seen us obviously, we're out of the FA Cup. You're still there. We are as good as out of the Carabao Cup. You're still there. And we've got no hope in the Champions League, even if we do qualify from the top 8. And I think a lot of us have accepted that Liverpool, in spite of having, stuttered a little bit against United and Forest, are not going to lose the title, especially given that they have a game in hand. So,
but the game is against Everton, right? So
satisfaction coming,
No, I understand, but guys, why is this season like, Arteta is doing the inverted fullback, we are doing it. I mean, we of course do the inverted fullback because of Ange, right? So that's who we are, mate. But at the moment now, we are like holding our own against you, defending okay. Apart from that few early scares, the game seems to have, I don't know, come into a rhythm where you guys get hold of the ball and attack, and we try to break on a fast one, which is actually, to tell the truth, right, how we beat the better teams like that.
Yeah, but a very big chance. You're going to see it right now, obviously, and
yeah, I know.
Just Eugene, we're knocking on.
Just as long we're not 1-0. I mean, come on, we're Spurs, right? We don't defend well at set plays, right? So
yeah, and of course we're not called out.
But this Kinski is strong. Look at that. Yes, sir. Kinski got his hand to it.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, Gabriel trying to make things happen, and he was, of course, the bloke who scored the winner at the Tottenham Stadium not too long back.
Yeah, but have you not noticed, right? I've noticed how you guys take corners, all your players go all the way to the far back, right? And when the ball comes in, you'll rush into the penalty area.
Yeah. I think the genius of that is that they're trying to catch the defense unawares, and that's probably what Gabriel and Saliba are adept at doing. Of course, Gabriel is probably the one who is more dominant in the air, while Saliba likes to move along the ground. But
But
Saliba has won his fair share of
yeah,
headers.
I know. But my question is, right, I mean, Saka used to take those corners, right? And Saka used to be very, very pinpoint. Yes, ever since he's not around, that's why you guys are a bit off in the set place. That's why I see it, right? But my question is, why don't other coaches or managers copy this?
No,
If it
I
works,
don't know.
right?
I don't know. I
If I'm
mean,
humble enough, I'll copy whoever's successful in their ways and tactics, right?
well, I suppose it depends on whether or not a certain team has the defenders who are tall enough to, act as attackers.
Now again,
A lot of these classical, old-fashioned British teams managed by British coaches will probably have that more of an old-fashioned uh, centre-back pairing that are quite tall and are fairly strong and dominant in the air, and they're the ones who are able to, dominate. I don't know if anyone necessarily copies it, but one thing I can tell you is that when it comes to the bigger teams playing against us, they're able to suss out the inverted style easily enough because what they do is they pack their own midfield. And it's always, even though we have a good record against bigger teams, we can get sussed out very easily by other teams who don't have any fear against us. That's how we got our noses bloodied by Bournemouth and Newcastle. And again, it's that complacency which sort of comes back to haunt us. But a big chance over here. I don't want to be a spoiler, and well, fortunately for now, you can breathe a sigh of relief. But you'll see it on your own anyway.
and we lose the ball again, right? Now it's 4 against 6, 6 against 6 coming up. Defense covers, and we're leaving the white open again. No one defending the person on the white. It goes all the way to the white. See, and comes back in again.
And this is one of the reasons why I don't want to, commentate before you do, because obviously I don't want to be a spoiler.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks for that. But it's just 2 of us, right? So, like I said, you guys are in the danger. Do you feel that you guys are going to score soon?
We should. I mean, normally what happens is that we spend time huffing and puffing and not blowing the house down until about maybe 25 to 30 minutes into the game. That's sort of par for the course with us. And I will say as well that you don't really have your best central defenders still. I mean, how long do you think it's going to be before Kuti and Mickey back into the picture?
February? 1 end and 1 mid or something like that. Right. No, that's why the Ange was stupid enough, right? To put both of them against Chelsea. What a dumbass. No, to tell the truth, like, you know me, I'm Ange, don't care, but I just sometimes can't understand his dumbassness. Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
but again, it does look as though your defense is being sliced apart. The only problem is we're not able to find that killer ball into the penalty area. And even when we have been able to sort of have a shot on goal, we haven't forced Kinski into a save because the cavalry has rode in at the last moment to save the day. But this can't continue for very long. And I think Arteta has pretty much made it clear that Dragusin and company. Who's the other central defender in your team?
Archie Gray.
Archie Gray. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, the
Ed-
person that we brought to play center midfield, but I've been saying, right, this year he's not going to play anywhere near midfield. He's just been brought in as the excuse because we didn't buy any defenders in the summer. And pick up the Eva man. Yeah, they're looking like they're going to score soon. Yeah, Eva believes that Arsenal looks like they're going to score soon. But Mani is saying that, you guys seems to like no teeth, right? It's like gumming against a piece of meat like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, without Saka and Nwaneri, we do look a little bit weak, but this is a chance for Sterling to try to exert himself. At the moment, though, it seems to be Rice sort of dictating the play and Partey also playing his role. So our midfield is somehow, a bit surprisingly, bossing your midfield at the moment.
Yeah, but while yeah, but you know the rule is that if they play advantage, there's no yellow card. But while loses the ball that way. But dude, the thing is Spurs is right. We keep losing the ball. Ah, I mean, if you watch us
Yeah.
play, right, Manny, it's so frustrating. We keep losing the ball. That's why I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
frustrated with this thing. Is I don't
Yeah.
understand why we keep losing the ball, and I mean, you know, we lose the ball in our own half. Thereby, sometimes we lose the ball in our own penalties box. Ah,
Yeah. But then I think what happens though is that we're still very good at pressing, still very good at pressing, but we just can't get that killer final touch. We cannot really find that thing. And this is the chance, obviously, I think, which Trossard had. It went a little bit wide. Havertz was nowhere near it, and it was Gray, I think, who sort of headed it away. So yeah, that was one big chance that we had, and it would have been 1-0 to the Arsenal. But your
offside.
defending so far has been, and Kinski's put himself into a spot of bother there, but he's recovered brilliantly. And I think this is the problem. If you want to play with your feet, you've got to be very careful of the people who are, surrounding you. And yeah, you'll see that for yourself. And you said that Kinski hadn't made any blunders. There's the commentator's curse for you right there.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's lucky, right? Because when Foster did it, it bounced back into the net.
mhm. And even a lot of people have complained that as much as Vicario is a brilliant shot stopper, he's also extremely weak when it comes to corners and set pieces. So
Yeah.
hopefully in Kinski, you seem to have
No,
solved the problem.
no. You see, Manny, right? In football, right? What you try to do is that your goalkeeper has the advantage of using his hands. You get what I'm saying? So, yes, being good with the ball at your feet is a good and a great attribute, or it can contribute to some things, right? But the thing is that you try not to do it so often, yes, and say not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the
So,
reasons why, I don't have time for these goalkeepers who like to showboat and play with their feet and, prove that they can be auxiliary outfield players. For me, I grew up watching, obviously, David Seaman, and I do remember Eric
yeah,
Torstvedt as well, who probably one of the best goalkeepers that Spurs had, I would say.
yeah,
I mean, I was too young to watch Pat Jennings, even when he played for Arsenal. I don't think I was even born then, maybe. I mean, I
yeah,
might have been. He joined probably before I was born, but I couldn't watch any football, obviously. But from what
yeah.
I saw of Torsten, big Scandinavian fella, definitely was very commanding. Ian Walker was never fit to lace his boots. I'm sorry to say that. And
Ian Walker, please.
both Torstvedt and Seaman were, of course, the old school goalkeepers, very big, positionally very sound. Didn't believe in making what we call the camera saves unless necessary. And at that time, it was still when I started watching, they were sort of transitioning over to the back pass rule, which meant that you can collect your back passes anymore. So obviously you had to be quite careful. But you also didn't have a situation, at least not too frequently, where if you had the ball, an opponent would try to rush at you and try to take it away from you. So I think it started as a novelty, this idea of goalkeepers playing from the back and being sort of like auxiliary outfield players. But, every now and then, if you become complacent or cocky, you sign your own death warrant, so to speak.
I understand. Yeah. But I think so. Big up Jens. Hope you're doing well. Right. You got to hop on, you got the link. All right. But yeah, I know. So, and we have not been able to actually play the ball in your half for more than 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Ah. No, it's a good thing, right? It shows that we know how to defend too, but maybe against a misfiring Arsenal, it's not such a good thing. But right, but you guys are having a chance. I mean, you're creating a chance. Look at our goalkeeper, right? He's right up there. Look at that.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Oh.
And I think it's also fair to say that we're still not able to really pierce that in. And Kinski again, and he's put himself in trouble there. Eugen, maybe you really shouldn't have said what you were saying about him, because you've cursed yourself in a way.
I
Maybe
know.
something can come out of this.
Yeah, Yen saying that not tonight, mate. There'll be too many swear words flying around. Yeah. Kinski puts himself in trouble again. You know why? Because we go backwards, right? So you see, we go backwards. Yes, and Kinski standing in a half. My God.
Yeah, but a terrific chance over here, and you're going to watch it. And I tell you what, ever since Jed Spence has been given his chances, he's looked very, very accomplished indeed.
Yeah. Well, that's a good touch by Gabriel from Solanke, right? So yeah. Now Jed Spence, I know, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's frustrated. He was bought by Levy. Conte didn't want to use him, and I mean, he did do quite well during the friendlies, but until all these injuries that came along, right? He wasn't even looking, but now he's being in. He's playing this well, right? He's doing well, and we get a corner, and I guess there are no goals, right? If there are goals, yeah, we'll see. I forgot one more banner, which is very important. Yeah, Raya saves from
Yeah,
Kulusevski.
but you very nearly forcing Raya into a save at his near post, a save expected to make, and yeah, once again, it's this time around, it's Spence who does the cleaning up. But now it's starting to open up a little bit, and I think what Spurs are going to do now is try and work something on the counter attack. Arsenal seem to be staking everything on the press, but if we're not careful, we can be hit on the counter.
Yeah, I know, but I think we are being forced into it, and we lose the ball again, right? So we keep losing the ball, but Bissouma comes back to cover and gives it back to Kinski. Kinski, all right.
And this is another reason why Thomas Partey is always going to be a very important player for Arsenal. But I think a lot of us are sort of, worried that his time with us will come to an end, and we don't even know as well if he will actually continue to play football, full stop. Especially when you consider all of the controversy surrounding him off the field, obviously. And all I can say is that if he is found guilty, he has to get the book thrown at him, no ifs, buts, or walnuts. But for all of the talk about Rice, Thomas Partey has been our most important and influential midfielder. And Rice is probably being asked to do a bit too much by Arteta. And this is the thing I really despise about Arteta. He will be the death of, several of our best players.
Don't worry, Andrew has already killed VDV's hamstring, Romero's hamstring, right? Now even Wiener's hamstring is gone. Okay, Kinski catches the ball. Right, but at this moment in time, I guess you guys are controlling the game, right? So we get a sporadic once in a while attack, and does it?
Ooh, keep watching.
All right. Yeah, not too worried. And Sonny. So I guess Everman would have put 1-0 Spurs. That means when she says Sonny, that means Sonny must have missed a sitter. 1-0. Sonny scores.
Yeah, we don't.
Deflected.
Marking Heung-min Son. Huge deflection. I think it came off. Who did it come off?
Yeah.
Partey, of all the people. Now I cursed my player. Horrible. And Raya saw that a little bit late. And you might end up having your revenge tonight.
Yeah. Spurs. Any controversy? Any free kick? It deflected off Rice.
It was Partey. It
went through the
deflected off
legs,
Partey.
deflected off
Yeah.
Partey through the legs of.
Through the legs of Partey, and it sort of, I think Raya was sort of unsighted. And I want to check the scores from the other games. Trying to refresh it at the moment.
All right.
Okay, Newcastle are ahead. Not surprising. Um,
A name. Yeah,
Half time.
yeah.
It's 0-0 at Goodison between Everton and Villa, and Villa need to win to go above Bournemouth to 7th in the table. And they've started to drift a little bit, but they are doing brilliantly in the Champions League. Yeah, Newcastle are 1-0 up against Wolves, and it's goalless at the King Power Stadium between Ruud van Nistelrooy and Oliver Glasner.
Mm.
And
All right.
of course, there are two
Spurs
ex.
leading 1-0 at Emirates. All right. Bissouma gets the ball out.
And of course, Leicester have two ex-Spurs players in Harry Winks and Oliver Skipp playing for them. But, Leicester will have a really tough job to avoid relegation this season. There might be at least one or two teams worse than them. Southampton are out of the picture, cut adrift completely. And, yeah, so Spurs are getting stuck in. And I think that whatever they're trying to do, it's working. But in the second half, I do predict that Maddison and maybe Richarlison could come on, and that will probably add a little bit more to the offense. But I wonder if we take a look at your lineup, who do you think might come on to strengthen the central midfield and stop you from losing the ball all the time?
No, at the moment, I will just let it be as it is. You can say no, because no matter how much you're dominating, right, you still don't have the cutting edge. So I'm not that fearful of that, right? But the midfield at the moment, of course, if we're going to change, I know you see, Madison is more of a creative to attacking kind of style. So now we're 1-0 scoreline. I want to see whether we can actually sit back and, absorb the pressure and go get one more on the counter. Right.
Yeah. But the problem is, I think you can agree with me that Radu is not necessarily the best defender. Archie Gray is still very green, pun intended. So, I think Arteta has spotted a few weaknesses in that defense and will have told his attackers to sort of attack them. And Sterling also trying his best. I think his best days are well behind him, and Sterling has definitely dropped in value. No longer in the England picture, of course. And this is another thing. Our transfer business has been abysmal. I know you're going to say you haven't exactly bought very well yourselves, but you've always been able to have those one or two purchases which outshine whatever we've managed to bring to the club. The less said about Mikel Merino, the better. I thought he would actually be good for us for his role in Spain, but the truth is he was a bench warmer. He scored that golden goal against Germany. He has had one or two goals for us, but apart from that, he's been absolutely abysmal. There's been talk about us having secured the services of his ex-Sociedad teammate Zubamendi, but we still are no close to the striker, for Pete's sake.
That's what I mean. Okay, I was on Lucas' show yesterday. Yesterday was it on Monday, right? I told him that, right? You guys need a striker, but somehow or another, there's no news of you being linked to one. So I don't know. But we are linked to like Moani and whoever else. So yeah. But what do you think? What do you think? Okay, now we're 1-0 up, right? What do you think Arteta needs to do? That is the big question.
Well, whatever he's trying to do, it's not exactly working, and we've already got some people in the chat who like Arsenal. Down. Yeah, that looks very serious, a serious injury. And
see, now we're gonna put on Reggie, and we lose our.
Is that Spence who's down?
No, Porro.
Oh, Porro.
You see, Spurs players, right, who are you overuse. I don't know what to say anymore, right?
Well, I mean, Ange has shown enough foresight, at least by a goalkeeper, given what's happened to Vicario and Forster. But he needs to start. I mean, it's the middle of January now, and of course, it is
So now,
Pongo.
okay,
So we're in the middle of
what's
the month,
our
and
bench
he's got.
like?
We've got to get something done. I mean, it's amazing how we're so different, yet we're so similar. It's
Yeah,
uncanny.
yeah, I know, right? Okay, so that means the only person that come on now could be is Regulon.
Hmm.
Mm.
Right.
It looks like
And
it's
of course,
okay.
you've on the film bench in terms of attacking. I mean, you got Brennan Johnson, of course. William Lancashire.
Brenda,
Huh?
Brenda,
Why do you call him Brenda? I think he's a quality player. Come on.
Brenda.
Yeah.
Nah,
Welsh international. I think he's done really well for you lot.
nah, come on, Manny. You haven't even watched him play. He can't cross. He can't pass the ball, right? He's only been good in his timing running into the box. We should use him more like that. He's basically what call uh, a center forward kind of player,
So
right?
use him that way then, definitely. I mean, why can't Ange see that? And speaking of wingers who should be centre forwards, we've got Gabriel Martinelli on the bench. He was scoring goals for fun under Unai Emery in that position, but Arteta's moved him out. We've gone from seeing Arsene Wenger convert Thierry Henry from a winger into a great centre forward to someone like Arteta taking a centre forward, best centre forwards, Aubameyang and Martinelli, and putting them out on the wing. And this is another reason why, and I'm going to say this in response to those two gentlemen who, you know, sort of tried to come at me one of the last times I was on your show. This is another reason why I can never, ever get behind Mikel Arteta. You cannot hope to shoehorn players into positions you think they will do well in because you have your, half-baked ideas on how the team should play and expect them to do well. I mean, you've got to play players to their strengths, for crying out loud.
But Spurs never do that, right? We've got Archie Gray, who plays as a center midfielder, now playing throughout the defense. Now he's a center back. Decky is supposed to be more or less
To be fair, it's because of an injury crisis to your defense. But if
no.
Brennan Johnson,
Wait, Manny. Archie Gray, right? Last season, he was playing for Leeds. He played a few times in center mid. Then after that, they moved him to right back. This season, we bought him, right? Not as a center mid. Yes, or not. He was the smoke and mirrors, right, for actual defender. So now we're short of defenders because of that, right? So that's why Archie Gray is being forced to be used in that position. That's how I see it. Maybe this transfer window or the next summer transfer window, we'll get an actual proper center defender. And please don't tell me that Ben Davis will do a good job, right?
I'm not gonna say anything, but I mean, also surely we criticize Arteta for the signings because he has the say, and he was definitely influential in bringing,
Yeah.
what we call number 29 to the club, our number 29, that is. Surely Ange must have a big input in that, and here as well. I mean, it's very easy for you to be Enoch out, Levy out, and I'm completely with you there. But also one thing for which I like people like yourself and even Harry and a few others is that you're also not afraid to question Ange as well and say that yes, he has had some input in all of this, right?
Positive or negative? Input.
Well, I mean, critical of Ange in that respect, aren't you? I mean, obviously Ange has to take some blame for this because he has some input in all of this.
Of course, Ange takes all the blame for this, right? He came in the first day that says that he's responsible for everything that happens, right? If things go awry, right, he's willing to die on that hill. So remember we were laughing at the Highline Hill and all that. We were making fun of that joke. But the problem is that last season he says a bunch of things. This season he contradicts himself. Sometimes in the same season he says something, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Last season, when we lost, when some of us fans says that we can't beat M City and give Arsenal a title, right? Then he questioned the fans' mentality. He puts a divide there. This season, you're 2-0 up against Brighton, and then you don't make changes until the fucking 80th over minute, right? And then when you go into the press conference, he says that we didn't deserve to win that. What do you mean by you didn't deserve to win that? You'll try all your fucking shit best to try to win it. If you want to have a winning mentality, right? You find any way to try to win, right? So contradicts himself again.
I can tell that loss to Brighton at the Amex has really got you still angry to this very day, because I've never heard you curse like that before.
Because Manny, you know me, right? I'm a very straightforward, direct person. I like people who tell the truth and talk, with credibility. Don't flip-flop, right? Because last season, when in the early stages, when he commented to say that he's comfortable in conceding goals, right? I was going, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? Where's the pride of Romero, Vicario? Where's the pride of your defense if they're comfortable in conceding goals? Defenders take pride in things like that, right? Clean sheets, right? Goalkeepers are, but it is what it is, right? And to tell the truth, don't be surprised, right? We stink this out a 1-0 win. Don't be surprised.
Well, but I'll tell you what, though, we're looking so toothless in attack that it could very well be that you might actually score another one and really humiliate us. And of course, this brings back memories.
I don't think so. With Kinski doing that same shit all the time, you might get one back. Oh, Kinski.
It could happen. So far, he's ridden it very well. The young Czech bloke. I mean, but definitely this young Czech needs to check himself before he wrecks himself. Pun intended.
Yeah.
And yeah, but listen, if you despise flip-floppers, then we've also got Arteta, who also definitely speaks from both sides of his mouth. Definitely doesn't know how to treat players properly. Tells players that they are a part of his plans one week, and then the next week he tells them they're off on loan to Real Sociedad. Again, even his comments after that FA Cup humiliation. I know Manchester United are the defending champions, but we were expected to, put them to the sword, especially after they went a man down. Odegaard's penalty was dreadful. We made that Turkish goalkeeper Bayindir, who we made him look like prime Rüştü Rekber. And if you recall, Eugene, you lot made him look.
We smashed Bayindir.
Yeah, you literally made him look so poor. But Amorim put confidence in him to start, and Bayindir had his moment, and we could never get anything past him. But we missed some sitters. I do not condone the disgusting abuse that was sent to Kai Havertz's misses, but for that performance like that, Havertz really has to had to be docked his wages for the for that game, and I think you might have called it though, but just keep watching.
Yeah, no, it's 1-1. Let me know, Eva man, 1-1. Yeah, I called it. And from a corner, right? Set play.
Yeah. Spurs still can't defend from set pieces, and once again, it's the angel Gabriel who comes to the rescue. But you've got to mark your man. I don't know what Dragusin was trying to do. You don't leave that much of a distance. You don't watch the ball. You watch your man, for Pete's sake. But it's good.
You know why? Because we don't, Manny, we don't actually focus that much on the defense part, in a sense or not. That's why sometimes it makes you wonder, right? Yeah, you see, they've just blocked the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think
Dragosin loses Gabriel.
Because Trossard had the final touch. The only question was, did it cross the line before it hit Trossard? VAR should possibly have intervened, but
My God,
VAR
it's an
didn't.
own goal, bro.
Huh?
Handball by Solanke. No, it wasn't a corner, bro.
Shouldn't have been a corner, but Arsenal. We'll take that. We're happy with that piece of luck there. I mean, maybe if you lot manage to get a win out of this, Ange might have some goodwill going into the cup games. But do you have the deal at Anfield in the semi-final second leg?
Oh, Anfield. Apart from this stadium that we're in now, right? We don't have a good record there. And to tell the truth, I don't know. I've been saying, unless Liverpool's form, right, suddenly takes a big dip, then I don't know. We can't defend, you can see, right? One set piece, but it should have been a corner. It is what it is. The ball's gone in. Yeah, but Raya will get it. Guys, we'll go into the. Why can't VAR look back and cancel that out? That's my question.
VAR should have looked. They should have looked at that, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah,
in other news, Aston Villa also up the second half at Goodison, but it's an Everton corner and easily claimed by the ex-Arsenal goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. Best in the world. We sold him for 20 million quid to replace him with a couple of charlatans who aren't fit to lace his boots.
Okay.
I mean, consider he could have been our new David Seaman. Maybe if you would have considered buying him, he could have been your new Eric Torstvedt, perhaps.
Yeah, I know, but nobody wanted him, right? So it was a weird kind of scenario. But Villa's got him. Let's see what happens this season with Villa. All right.
I'll tell you what, if Villa managed to win silverware, be it the FA Cup or even the Champions League, there are going to be a lot of very angry Arsenal fans, believe you me.
Yeah. And it's an own goal, Manny.
What's an own goal?
Your goal is an own goal.
And
Solanke.
Yeah, came off Dragoshin.
He came off Solanke. He came off Dragoshin and bounced onto Solanke and went in.
Right. So again, this is why you got to get your defensive bearings right and just keep watching. So.
Yeah, I know. That's what we do. We lose the ball again. You see, we lose the ball again, and we get punished. 2-1. Everman says, "Oh,
and
Trossard
I don't know what's up. He seems to be overawed by the occasion.
Maybe, yeah. So shot stopping, not too good for the young boy now.
Oh, that went right through him.
Yeah. Did it bounce?
I think it sort of had a bounce, hit his left hand, and then went in. And
yeah.
Then you got shot celebration right now.
Yeah. Now we lose the ball, right? Nobody covers the wide. Same problem again. Like you've been saying, right? It goes through the goalkeeper's hand. So yeah, it's bad shot stopping for him.
Yeah. By the way, Eugene, one thing which I'd like to ask you to do, whenever you get time, of course, is let me know your all-time Tottenham dream team, because you're obviously a lot. You've seen Spurs play much.
Team?
Hey, Nippon, behave yourself. I never give him grief.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't, Nippon. He doesn't. Right. So it's 2-1 to Arsenal. Spurs fans says were expected. We put up a good fight, but we keep making the same. Okay. We considered 2 goals, one from a corner, which was not supposed to be a corner, right? Through an own goal. Another from losing the ball in midfield. Same scenario again. It's the same kind of goals to lose. Same old. Yes, Eva man. Same old, right? All right, guys, we are down 2-1 at the Emirates. I don't know, 4 minutes at a time. Do you know, right, Manny? I think if we lose to you guys and Manchester United, right, win their game, right, we'll be 14th. Right.
Right.
Before the end of
again,
the year, I predicted that we'll be in the bottom half. And then I did say too, right, if we do not improve our league form, relegation battle on the way. We're getting really close to the bottom half of the table, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, I did say that if Aston Villa were to win some silverware before Arsenal, it would really make our fans angry.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Say that he usually wins something in his second season. So, for what it's worth, you are a game away from a League Cup final. It's a tournament you do enjoy playing in.
No, but you did ask me,
win,
right? Playing at Anfield was I have to tell the truth, right? We can't defend, so how are we going to win at Anfield? That's my question.
Yeah.
We can't sit back and low block, right? So we have to come out and play. If we go toe to toe, my God, look at what our defenders are doing now, right?
I mean, so far, our midfielders are just toying around, and oh yeah, Jed Spence is not a happy man, and if he's not careful, he could end up getting booked. But one game where I was really impressed with the way Ange managed you lot was the 4-1 win over Aston Villa. You went down 1-0, but in the second half, you literally kept the press going at Emery's boys. You broke them down, and you literally pumped them for 4. I wonder why can't Ange look back at that as a sort of a blueprint as how to maybe attack these teams in the second half.
Manny, the thing is that, right? No, I think Ange's style of play, right? No player can actually sustain it for 45 minutes and get away with it. You get what I'm saying? So it takes a lot out of the players. I don't know. Or it's that moment in time, everything was in sync for him, right? Because apart from that game, apart from a few games this season, right? Like you're talking maybe the West Ham game, the Aston Villa game, the Manchester City game, the Manchester United game, right? Out of 20 games, they look good. But when games like these type of games, we go 1-0 up and we can't defend. And to tell the truth, it is what it is, right? If we sit back and let you guys come at us, and to tell the truth, we've lost our 2 main center defenders, right? And to tell the truth, right, after Poro's twist, maybe we should have, I don't know, stopped him instead of Captain Mon, right? So what else can I say? Right?
Yeah, well, Ange's now going to have to start to be proactive. Otherwise, it'll be a repeat of what happened at the Amex Stadium. I mean, that was, I have to say that I was impressed by the way you lot played that game prior to that collapse. And when it happened, I was thinking to myself, poor Eugene will literally be ripping his hair out. And even now, you're still effing and blinding over it. But listen, I'm not going to give you any grief. I still think that, Ange can do something. And listen, for what it's worth, if you do manage to win silverware, I mean, you can't not let him go. Although, as Manchester United found out, winning silverware is not a guarantee that things will improve.
No, to tell the truth, right, Manny, I told you before, right? We do win silverware, right? It doesn't matter even we get relegated. I will take it. I'm very honest with it, right? But the thing is, at the moment now, right? Do you think we have the capability of winning silverware with this type of style of play, right? Maybe, maybe a one-off cup game, you can come up with a tactic to do something about it. But beyond that, I don't know. The league is the thing that shows what levels you're at. Yes, and in the cup games, you might get away with it because it's a one-off thing. But the League Cup, there's a second leg. So in that second leg, we still do not know, right? What kind of team that we're going to play? Whether our players are back from injury because it's early February, not late February, right? And I don't know if luck is on our side. Maybe Liverpool will run into some kind of a blip, right? Drop of form. Players get injured or get tired, right? Fatigue. I don't know. But
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
it's this game now, right? I don't know. Were we trying to low
Yeah.
block you guys? I don't think so. Or maybe just we couldn't get out from the back. That's why you guys have domination of the ball. And every time we get the ball, we lose the ball. That's the problem, right? And losing the ball, right, has not been a one-off kind of thing. It's been like every game I see the same pattern, right? Like what Everman says, same old, right? And that's what worries me, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I've actually switched over to Goodison Park where Villa is still 1-0 up and there is still a bit of time left. And credit to Aston Villa, they've so far managed to hold out for a clean sheet, but there are 25 minutes left. And the thing about
Hmm.
Aston Villa this season is that their game management when it comes to the closing stages has been nothing short of abysmal. They're going to always complain that some decisions should not have gone against them the way they did. But still, certainly against teams like Forest at the City Ground and a few other games as well, those were games that they should have won and they ended up dropping points. And of course, you did pump them for 4 at the Tottenham Stadium. So when you go to play against them at Villa Park, you should be able to find some ways and means of being able to attack them. But having said that, they just recently signed Daniel Mallon, who's now in the stands at Goodison watching his new teammates play. And I don't know if you can hold out much hope of really withstanding their attack, even with John McGinn not available today, but he might come back. And about Ollie Watkins, obviously. I wonder if you at least hold out some hope for that, though, because they are still a shambles defensively at times.
Nah, that's the FA Cup, right? At Villa Park.
Yep.
Whether we get a result there or not, to tell the truth. To tell the truth. At the moment now, I can see the writing on the wall since last season. When after the 10 games we started to regress, right? And sometimes the improvements look like they're there, but sometimes it looks like they're just papering over the cracks.
Yep, I feel you. I completely
You know,
understand that. And
you
that
know?
kind of was almost the way it was with Emery because, in his first season with us, we'd reached the Europa League final and we were 2 points off the top 4, but we should have secured top 4 but the team ended up, completely capitulating, and you finished in the Champions League. Um, you finished above us in the table, and that season you also made the Champions League final. But things went south under Emery over a period, and then it was decided that he had to go. And I was okay with that, although I have nothing but respect for the guy, and I think he's rebuilt his reputation wonderfully over at Aston Villa. But why the same courtesy was not, the same ruthlessness was not applied to Mikel Arteta, I will never know. And my theory is that, people sort of love the fairy tale of an ex-captain with no real managerial experience, but someone who served as apprenticeship, supposedly under one of the greatest, coming back to his former club and helping them do well. I wouldn't have minded if he had gone back to Everton because, frankly, he's more of an Everton legend. But, Arteta's been given so much rope. And the only thing that's been working in our favor is that we have, so to speak, challenged. I say that in quotations for the title. But this season, we've started to fall away. And the only reason why we're not completely out of it is because Chelsea have also started to slump very badly under Maresca. Leicester fans will remember only too well that slump he had before eventually getting his act together and taking Leicester over the line in the Championship. So, just in case you think that things are horrible at Spurs, I would say, to be honest, things are only marginally better at Arsenal, but a large number of fans are starting to see, as I said, that the Emperor has no clothes. And there could be some big changes at the end of the season if things don't improve. And Aston Villa with the ball in the penalty area, but he's forced wide.
No, money. Arteta's been there 6 years, right? Spent nearly what, £1 billion, 800 to 700 million pounds, right?
Close to 800,
so,
I would say.
Yeah, close to 800 million pounds. So if it doesn't work, right? If it's time, it's time. He's got 6 years. Yes, yeah. But at least he has shown some progress, right? You've seen this progress, but now there's a dip, right? But with our manager, yeah, he's been here 18 months. Plus. He spent about 300 million pounds already, right? Over 300 million pounds. But we seem to be regressing. But the thing is that a lot of our fans have manager PTSD, right? And they're willing to take the chance. So we deserve what we get, right? And if we're going to be in a relegation battle, we'll be in a relegation battle, right? The only thing is that, will Levy take it? Will Levy be able to withstand this?
To be fair, though, I don't think I can remember the last time a Spurs manager had you in a relegation battle. I mean, obviously, I remember, the days in the early 90s. I think it was after you won the FA Cup.
Last time we were in a relegation battle was in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. The 9-10 season.
Yeah.
We not actually the relegation battle, right? We won the League Cup in 2008, 2009. One day Ramos brought us down to 19th, or were we 20th? And then Harry Redknapp came in or something like that.
Yeah, and Redknapp came and rescued you and took you back into the Champions League, if I'm not wrong. And I also remember, I think it was, I don't quite remember who the manager was. Terry, I don't know if it was still Terry Venables. He might have left after the FA Cup win. But the season after that, you lot were doing really, really horribly. You had a poor away record. And that was not too long after, that was the season the Gazza had already left to join Lazio. And I think that was also Gary Lineker's final season at Spurs before he moved to Japan. And so you've had to sort of rebuild from that. But that was a horrible season, I remember. I don't quite remember who the manager was. I don't know if it was Venables or someone else.
Yeah. Manny, you go in for a while because I just need to wash my hands because I just ate an orange. I'll be back.
Okay. And once again, I have to applaud your commitment, and I will say this to everyone in the chat. The commitment of Eugene to sort of do a stream close to 4 o'clock in the morning, Kuala Lumpur time, and stay until about 6 o'clock his time. It's just amazing in many ways. And we're still at halftime at the Emirates Stadium. I am watching the action from Goodison. And it's amazing, of course, obviously, watching a lot of these games, how with the upcoming fixtures, everything is just so interconnected. Obviously, you Tottenham fans will be facing Aston Villa in the FA Cup, and we've also got to play Aston Villa this weekend. Unai Emery coming back once again to the Emirates Stadium. Maybe he could, haunt us again like he did last time around. If he does, then there are going to be more, wails and gnashing of teeth, especially from those cretins at that fan channel, which will not be named. But yeah, so far, Villa are trying their best. They're deep in the. Actually, they're sort of stuck in their own half at the moment, and trying to get the ball out. And Cash going down there under a challenge from in the A. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I think it's an Everton corner now. And we will get back to the action from the Emirates Stadium as it resumes. But obviously now I think Everton are going to try to look for an equaliser. And Martinez once again has to be at the ready. Into the penalty area. And frenetic goalmouth action, but still can't get it over the line. And Aston Villa somehow managed to clear it. And we're into the last, not quite into the last 15 minutes, but I'm going to sort of change the channel. And we're still not back at the Emirates as of yet. But Everton are still relentlessly attacking, and they could possibly score. Whipped into the penalty area, but Branthwaite is blocked, and Cash has the job of trying to hack it away, which he does, but only for a throw-in, somewhat closer to the halfway line. Everton are knocking at the door, and they're determined to give Moyes something to be happy with on the occasion of his 698th game in Premier League management history. Only Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger have done that, and I think Martinez wasn't able to get that, forced to the ground, I think, but his defense was there to, help him out. And that is a foul, of course, on the ex-Toffees defender, Luca Digne, and that will be a free kick. Another ex-Toffee, of course, Ross Barkley, would have loved to have made the trip back to his old stomping ground, but he is, of course, injured, having sustained that injury in the FA Cup win over Moyes' former team, West Ham United. And I will, of course, wait for Eugen to finish washing his hands, and we should be back at the Emirates any minute now.
Yep, I'm back. Right. Yep, I think you should be back earlier than me. I'm going through my advertisements now.
Yeah. And we are, of course, now into the last 15 minutes at Goodison. It is still Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. There are still advertisements running on the other channel where Arsenal is being screened. And so far, once again, I'm quite confident that we should get a result against Emery's boys when they come over for the weekend, because you'd think that I know that Moyes has a reputation for, managing very solid teams, and his return to Goodison has been probably, hailed as a breath of fresh air after the stale air of Sean Dyche. But
maybe Sean Dyche prepares his team to get a result. See, so let's see how it goes. Right in the end, that will happen when it happens, right? But at this moment now,
yeah.
Manny, do you think, right, that you guys can get another goal, or do you think we will get another goal?
I'm going to have to see if any changes have been made, because now, of course, the teams that come out onto the field doesn't look as though there have been many changes made, but I think Porro might not be back on the field. And there is one change that's been made. You've been criticizing him, but yep, it's the two trump cards, Brendan Johnson and James Maddison, who are coming on, and that is really the only sub that Ange can make. These are his two impact players right now, and he's brought them on to try and do something. And of course,
he's doing it early. That's a good thing, right? But the problem is that Porro comes off, right? Who's going to play on the right? Are we going to fall into the back three? Are we going to change our formation? Right?
Well, it will remain to be seen, but Ange has shown that at least he's proactive enough to at least pretend to take this seriously. And we will take a look and see what transpires.
That's true.
So we're about to kick off any second now. It is Declan Rice who passes it back to David Raya, but you can tell me when kickoff starts for you so that I know how many seconds behind you are.
I'm still, I think I'll be about 30 seconds behind you.
Yeah, so just tell me when you start kicking off, when you kick off.
And we are going to get kickoff.
Yep, 31 or 32 seconds behind me. And Zuma and Sahu come off, so the two midfield pivots have gone off, and you brought on, a couple of more attacking players. But again, you've left your defense a little bit weak, and there's a huge space now for Sterling to exploit. Loses his footing, but passes it to Trossard, and we'll see what transpires of this.
All right, game's back on. Now to see whether Spurs can get an equalizer and, you know, my prediction of Desmond Tutu. Right.
Well, it
So,
was 2-2 the last time around, of course, because Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie made that mistake and made Arsenal fans cry. And because you
yeah,
Spurs came out to play, that's 2 precious points we had thrown away.
yeah. So now Arsenal's same old, right? In control of the game, control the ball.
But here's the thing, we've also shown of late, especially earlier this season, a very nasty habit of getting a first half lead, but then sitting back and doing, jack all. And that's what makes me angry. I'd like to think that for a game like this, we would start to, take the game really to you lot. And Arteta should have learnt his lessons from that debacle against Manchester United.
Okay. Yeah, but we'll have to sit back and see what happens now. Right. But to tell the truth, right, I guess you will be more confident in winning this game because you got the lead. And you know that Spurs can't defend. Like I've been saying, right? Take a number, please. Dr. Tottenham will see you.
Right. Some other score updates. Newcastle were 2-0 up, and I think they're checking to see if there was an offside. If there's no offside, they should be 3-0 up against Wolves. And Newcastle are literally doing well. And so even if you do manage to get past Liverpool and make the League Cup final, in all likelihood, you'll be coming up against a red-hot Newcastle team. Sonny and Cher at Wembley. But Newcastle are going to be very hot indeed.
I know. I know. Okay, let's see what we can do now. All right, guys. Spurs.
Kinski really has to start being more decisive with his feet. Sorry for cutting in there.
Yeah. Spurs are down 2-1 at Emirates. And like what Manny's saying, right? Kinski has to be more decisive with his feet. But you see, we still try to play it out from the back again. Look at that.
And I tell you what, as long as you've got Brennan Johnson and Dejan Kulusevski working that right wing, you're causing us a few problems. Miles Lewis-Skelly is going to have a real baptism of fire tonight.
No, but you say he's been doing quite well, right?
Yep.
Brenda gets the ball, passes it to Decky. Johnson to Porro. Madison.
And you've also got to give Heung-min some credit. He's still trying to make a lot of things happen. And now you've just grown a bit stronger offensively. But we can now still hit you on the counter. So I think the roles might have reversed a bit.
No, I guess now with the lead, right? Arteta will sit back, right?
Yeah, and that's the irritating thing. Yeah? Because if you sit back too much, you can be definitely hit. And there have been times when our decision to sit back has cost us a great deal.
That's true.
Yeah. Villa so far still 1-0 up, and I think it's fair to say that nobody would want to face Alexander Isak in the form that he is. And Crystal Palace have just gone 2-0 up. Mark Gay with the second goal. So Van Nistelrooy has just now continued to have his rude awakening. And the goal has stood at St. James's Park, so it's still 3-0 to Newcastle. And Aston Villa is still, at the moment, holding on at Goodison for a 1-0 lead. But I'll tell you what, they're making a big They're really making heavy weather of that.
No, that's Everton being home, right? Moyes' first home game in such a long time. So I guess the players will put up
Yep, and of course
will put
I
out a
have a
fight.
couple
Archie got a hit on the head.
and Villa have a couple of ex-Everton players in Amadou Onana and Luca Digne in their team,
Oh
and
yeah.
they were a lot of grief by the Goodison supporters. Onana, in fact, had been booked quite early on in the match, and I think Emery might have been smart enough to take him off. And normally, in circumstances, that he would take him off and bring Ross Barkley on, but that ex-Toffee is also injured. And I've got to say now, Spurs are looking good going forward, but now it looks as though Arsenal can possibly get something on the counter. So, the roles have reversed and the pendulum continues to swing. And into the last few minutes at Goodison, it is still Villa 1, Everton 0, but Villa need to get themselves a second goal, otherwise that's it. They're still going to be,
So now Arsenal gets a corner.
Yep, Arsenal had their corner, and you can see what happens.
Don't tell me
16.
you're gonna score. You're gonna score another corner again. My gosh.
60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz misses again.
Off his shoulder. Let's have a look. The head. But couldn't get it on target. Goes way off the top of the left-hand post, right? Now Spurs are attacking again. So I guess this is going to be a trend now. Spurs are going to attack and Arsenal going to defend. All right. I guess Arteta's going to slow the game down, right? Hey, Mr. B, hope you're doing well. Big up, big up. Great match. Yeah. Great match. Right, looks quite okay. Right. Arsenal's leading. Spurs can't defend as usual. All right. Hope you're doing well, Mr. B. Happy New Year. All right. Happy New Year to you. Are you doing any shows nowadays?
The not having a working PC at the moment is that every time I try and go on a stream, for some reason the Wi-Fi connection ends up, affecting the audio from the other side. I can't hear you, and I don't want to have a situation where you speak and you try to call me and I can't hear you. So I sort of had to go off. But after that first time, I'm so happy to say, touch wood, that it's worked perfectly right now. There have been no interruptions. I haven't had to go and come back. I think I probably did go and come back once, but since then it's been amazing. And maybe this is a blueprint. Always do your streams at around about this time, no matter how late it gets over here in India. And again, I was telling everyone in the chat, you are up at 4 a.m. Kuala Lumpur time to do a watch along, and it'll be 6 o'clock by the time it gets over. Please tell me you do have to go to work after this.
Oh, no. I'm not going to work. I just got back from work. So, yeah. So that's why I can do this type of things nowadays. Yeah.
Oh, so you're doing some sort of an evening shift or a night shift, or what's the story?
Basically, I'll tell you later in the back room. Yeah, when it ends.
Okay, cool. The less divulged in public, the better. And my apologies for asking.
No, it's okay. It's nothing nefarious or anything like that. But yeah.
So, as I mentioned, it is Pongal, of course, and I know that the celebrations will be very big in many Tamil diaspora communities around the world. Obviously, in Malaysia, there is a community. Many of them, of course, are based in Penang, but there will be a sizable one in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
I'm sure you.
When is Pongal?
Huh?
Is it past?
What?
You said Pongal, right?
Yes, Pongal, yes.
Has it passed or is it when it's coming up?
No, it started yesterday on the 14th, and it normally
Okay.
goes for about 2 or 3 days. So
Okay.
so it starts on the 14th and goes for the 15th and occasionally the 16th, 3 days. The day before that, the 13th, is the day when traditionally we throw out our old clothes and furniture, put them on a bonfire of sorts. That way, we sort of it's a way of saying out with the old and in with the new of sorts. You could say that this is sort of like a Christmas thing for
And we lose the
many
ball again.
for many people in that community. And I'm sure you got some Tamil friends. I wonder if they've invited you over for a meal anytime.
Uh, I had, how you say it? Nowadays I had hardly ever socialize at my age now. Yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah.
I think it's fair to say, as you were talking about, you've probably given up drinking, haven't you?
You can say, yeah, something like that. Yeah, Mr. Business should throw Arteta on the bonfire, money. Not your old clothes.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Steve, if you're there, Eugene is very close to saying the same thing about Ange too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If he can throw Ange and Levy on the bonfire, then that would be good.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore, right? Those were the Middle Ages.
Right. Let me just check and see if there's any update. And it's still 1-0 to Aston Villa. So they could end up getting a clean sheet, but at the moment, Everton are camped in the Villa half, and Villa trying to get out, and they're into 4 minutes of stoppage time there. Obviously, the other two games have pretty much been decided, done and dusted, but the action from Goodison is still hotting up. And if a reminder that if Villa win this game, they go above Bournemouth into 7th.
Mm.
And all of these teams, mind you, are still barely 3 to 5 points away from top 4.
Mm, yeah.
So it's been a
This
crazy
season is a
league.
weird season, right?
Yep, crazy, absolutely.
Solanke loses the ball. We lose the ball all the time. To tell the truth, I don't understand. Yeah, Money getting excited for another clean sheet.
Yeah, he sort of takes the mickey out of me because he knows that I happen to be a huge fan of the Argentinian superstar. And I still
I,
think he should have stayed at Arsenal. And that's another reason why I started to really hate Arteta, because, after the performances he put in, you can't not reward him with the first team jersey. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it's just jobs for the boys.
come on. We can't defend. Look at that. Look at our defense, right?
Yeah. And it looks as though Martinelli will be coming on. Does he come
Arsenal wants the
on for
penalty.
Sterling or does he come on for Trossard? No penalty, I think.
Oh, he miskicks it.
Yeah.
No penalty. Martinelli coming on for?
I don't know. It might be either Sterling, which means that it could be that Trossard goes onto the right because he's very technically gifted, or Martinelli could go onto the right because he's right-footed and whip in a few crosses.
Mm.
Surprised that Martinelli was dropped.
But I tell you, right? You guys keep whipping crosses is no use because Havertz can't hit it in.
Yeah. And it looks as though it's Sterling who's going off. He was given a start today, certainly put in a lot of endeavour, but just wasn't able to really make stuff happen. So it's Sterling off, Martinelli on, and we'll see what happens. Does Trossard shift to the right, or will it be Martinelli on the right? We'll have to see.
All right.
It looks as though it might be Martinelli on the left, and then Trossard will move opposite. I mean, you can't sub Trossard off after that goal. Although Trossard has to thank your goalkeeper for that.
Oh yeah, went through his hands. And then You
Yeah,
see,
but
the
as
thing
I
is,
said, one of
you see, Money, you see, we bring on Madison, we bring on Johnson, right? Have you
yeah.
seen any kind of changes?
Well, you actually
Do we?
started off attacking really well, but as I've said, the roles have reversed, and now we're looking to try and hit you on the counter. And it looks to be working quite well now because I think you might have started to drop off a little bit. Sooner or later, if we get that third goal, Ange might start to look at damage limitation more than anything else.
Oh, you don't know Ange, right? Damage limitations. He doesn't do that, bro. He double downs.
Well, come on. I mean, like, I know it's a loss, but yeah, horrible foul there by Calvert-Lewin on Tyrone Mings. And Villa are now seconds away from winning. And Steve, again, it's Everton. They're not exactly the most attacking, proficient team in attack, so I'm not going to get excited. I don't even think Emmy really had too many big saves to make, but Aston Villa in the Everton half, and maybe they might try to sign it off with a goal here. I'll go back to the Emirates in a minute. Actually, Eugene will have you covered there. Cheeky,
All right.
horrible foul. Another Aston Villa free kick, and that's not going to be the last of the action because I think they're going to take this free kick.
And we keep playing the ball back, all the way back to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper pushes it out to Porro. Porro hoofs it
Well,
up.
that was a bit cheeky
And
piece of
Johnson
play
is
from the keeper.
great.
He saw Martinelli coming in on him, and it was a side heel pass. I'll tell you what, that didn't look too bad, but you know, there are times when you can't do that. And it's full time at Goodison. Aston Villa have secured a clean sheet and won 1-0, so they go above Bournemouth in the table. No happy return for Moyes as of yet, but maybe in his 700th landmark game, he might get a win. I'll find out who the goal scorer was. I wasn't able to find out who it was. It looks as though it might be Ollie Watkins with the camera focused on him. He had a glorious chance in the first half from a poor pass from the ex-Villa defender Ashley Young, which he wasn't able to quite convert it put wide. But in the 51st minute, he scored the winner. So it is Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. And so we've had results in the other three games with Newcastle, Crystal Palace, and now Aston Villa having won. The question is, will it be Arsenal to complete that set, or can Spurs find an equaliser?
Yeah, but at the moment you can see it, right? You guys still dominate the ball. Looking more threatening. And we have to defend again, another corner.
And let's not forget, we are still capable of some defensive lapse at an inopportune stage in the game. And that was pretty much how you lot secured the draw in this fixture last time around.
Yeah,
That
I
was a
know, but the
poor.
problem is that, right? The thing is that we can't even get the ball up. We can't even get the ball into your side of the half without giving it away.
Well, you did this time, and Ray.
Yeah, but you must understand, right, Manny? Last season, when we got the draw at the Emirates, right, we were in that 10-game unbeaten run. Confidence was high, Ange ball was new, right? So now we are 1 year down, 18 months away. I mean, into his tenure, right? People have sussed him out. And Raya runs all the way half the pitch.
Well, that was a poor clearance there from David Raya straight to one of the Spurs midfielders, and now Spurs can possibly make something happen from this. Porro seems to be none the worse aware.
We don't make anything happen, Manny. We keep going backwards. Look at that. We can't
Well,
even
this
play the
time
ball
around,
into your half without giving it back to you guys. Look at that. Right? So Arteta has got this flat pinned down. Okay. The ball is given away. Now we got the ball in your half. Right, with Porro. What does Porro do with it? Johnson, what does Johnson do? Is it that key? But no, nothing comes from it. But Raya slows the game down.
Yeah. I mean, credit to Raya. He's done nothing wrong this game. Had a good save in the first half, but you expect a goalkeeper to make that kind of save anyway. And
now you can see it, right? When you guys have the ball, you're in control. We are trying to, I don't know, it looks like we are trying to play football. We get the ball, we don't go up. We only look threatening when you lose the ball to us, right? When we press you. And the worst part is just we look threatening, that's all, right? Looking, that's all. We don't even threaten after that. But you know,
I get that.
Arteta knows what to do. Look at that. He's got possession of the ball, play it around, go backwards, sideways.
No, but again, the thing is, Eugene, we've had this issue in several games that have cost us. We get complacent, we make a defensive lapse, and then somebody comes in behind us and then ends up scoring. And the way we've been playing of late, especially in that home loss against Newcastle in the League Cup semi-first leg, and also in that FA Cup match and in the few games in between, league games in between, we haven't looked good at all. And obviously, we needed to come out and win today, but we are far from safe, given that the score is only 2-1. Yes, we are probably now starting to control.
I know, but the thing is that, look, how many chances have we had against you guys? Think about it. We watched this game for so long, right? Ray has been only tested once.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not like we're creating tons of chances and you guys are, I mean, we are looking good at it. The thing is that this game we scored the first goal. Then the thing is that we know we can't defend, right? So I guess Ange is like stuck in a hard place now. As I see it. You can't get the ball back. Arsenal's dominating the ball. And I think we are looking tired already. Look at that. Spaces are starting to open up. And you see, whenever the ball is played, right, it's like the whole team is all sucked into the ball.
Oh, and I get that completely. Watching that.
The white, you see, look at it. Who's there standing on the white alone? We play like kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I'm a bit surprised that Lancashire hasn't been considered for being brought on. He started with some promise.
Talk to me about Lancashire, right? Tamworth. Why did he put Timo Werner as a striker against Tamworth? Right? We could have used Lancashire against Tamworth. Yeah, Mr. Steve. Another win for Newcastle, not looking good for Carabao Cup semi-finals leg, Manny. Yeah, Newcastle's on the run, right?
To be, and obviously, with Isak in the form that he's in, and Dubravka keeping another clean sheet, I think Dubravka's going to stay put, and maybe he might end up winning a medal, and he could end up, nailing down the first choice position at Newcastle, even when Nick Pope comes back.
Yeah,
but and also our ex-gunner Joe Willett might end up.
Yeah, but you must always remember, Manny, there's always the second half, right? So I mean the second leg, right? So there's still always a chance, right? It's not over till it's over, right? For you guys.
No, if you are not confident about getting a result at Anfield, we are even less confident about getting a result at St. James's Park. We lost there earlier this season, and Newcastle are obviously going to.
Somehow or other, St. James Park is like your, kryptonite. It's same for Spurs too, We don't tend to do well, right? Lewis
Absolutely.
Kelly makes a foul throw.
Yep, that's raw inexperience for you.
Right. Surely Arsenal has no chance in the second leg. No, I guess you. I know, Steve. Can't say it ain't over yet. Yeah, until we play it, we do not know what kind of things gonna happen. But yeah, when does the European competition starts back? Right, February or
No, I
end
think
of
they're
January?
of January. I think you can check the schedule and confirm that.
Yeah. So if you look at that, that means that yeah, Newcastle has got no Europe. So yeah, that's another thing. Look at Johnson.
Yeah.
You see, Johnson just. That's what I said, right? Johnson. Well, that's why I call him Brenda. Yeah. If you're a good quality winger, right, you would have crossed that ball to a player, not just thread it through to no one. And then he gives the ball
No,
away. Look at that.
as well, you've also got to consider that there has to be someone there to pick that up. And, like that ball which was there, any other day, had there been someone standing over there with that positional sense, he would have received that ball and possibly, that would have put Ray in all sorts of trouble. He was there. And that's the thing. I mean, sometimes you've got to work on your offensive routines if you want to be an offensive team. And Kinski pulling off a fine reflex save there. You'll see that very soon. At least there he's earned his bread. And
Yep, Brendan not doing much here, Eugene. Yep, I told you, right? And now Arsenal's got a counter attack move going on. And Rice shoots straight into Kinski.
it was a hard shot, so I'm prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it was a good reflex save.
Look at that. And Kinski saves again. Okay, Becky's got a ball now. Give it to Brenda? No. He knows if he gives it to Brenda, it's useless. We don't have enough people. We don't have enough players. Look at that. Oh, I don't know what to say anymore. Arsenal will low block us and we can't break them. And we give the ball away again.
Yeah.
Have you actually been watching Spurs play this season, Manny? Have you not actually questioned why do we give the ball away so often? Is there a stat for that? Giving the ball away.
That's the million ringgit question, I'm afraid, Eugene.
Yeah. Kieran Tierney is coming on for you guys.
Oh, a bit of a surprise. So,
Tuchel is watching. Yeah, could be Lewis Kelly. You get a call up, Manny. Tuchel is watching.
I don't think so. I think, there's no way that Tuchel will even consider playing this ridiculous inverted nonsense that Arteta wants, because Lewis Kelly is a midfielder by trade. And he will obviously want to try to look at the likes of one left back, I think, who should be considered is Tyreek Mitchell from Crystal Palace. Left-footed, definitely knows how to overlap a bit. And I suppose one reason why Tierney's been given some minutes now is to sort of prove to incoming suitors that he's still fit and can still play. And it looks as though he's coming on for Trossard, so it could very well be that Lewis Kelly might be going up a little bit further, and Tierney will be, sort of performing the role in the defense. But I'll tell you what, Tierney can overlap. And in Arteta's first season with Zinchenko and Tierney, he'd start Zinchenko, but he'd bring Tierney on and use Tierney to try and exploit a little bit of weakness. And whenever Martinelli has played well on the left, it's been in partnership with Kieran Tierney. So I don't know why Tierney has been frozen out as often as for as long as he has. I'm glad that he's getting a few minutes these days. I mean, I just hope that they're not going to be charity minutes, and I hope he actually does something in those two. I mean, I tell you what, if he were able to score a late goal, no offense, Eugene, if he scores a late goal in this match, I think it would be a wonderful parting gift to the fans, saying that, you know what, it's a great way to end it, and you'll still always and forever be one of us. And once Tierney leaves, it means that none of the starters or substitutes who came on for our FA Cup final win will be at the club. Bukayo Saka was an unused substitute that day.
Yeah, Steve wants Tierney, but let's see what happens, right? But okay, let's look at this now, right? We really put on Madison and we really put on Brenda. Okay, who else can we put on to change this game? Unless you're gonna take off Son and put on Mikey Moore, right?
Well,
and
it looks as though Richardson's coming on. That might answer your question.
Who?
He was named on the bench for a reason. I think Ange might see him as another possible change.
No, he's coming on, right? Richarlison is coming on. Who is he coming on for?
It's off, so Madison takes the captain's armband. And
all right, coming on. At least Richarlison will play on the left.
Could be, yes. And well done to the captain. He scored and put a shift in. And yeah, Pat Nevin on BBC
Money. Well done for what? Yeah.
He scored. He put in a good shift, and we'll see what he could. There's only so much the poor bloke can do. I mean, you can't just you know. You can't just.
Okay, let's get to this Son dilemma, right? His form is really bad. We know that, right? Okay, he scored today. And it was a deflected goal he scored. We still think that he scored. But overall, right, he's been really bad. Yes, Steve, rare appearance from Richarlison. Yeah. The pigeon is on the pitch, right? So let's see what he can do.
Yeah. Still about 12 or so minutes left.
Oh, come on. We haven't had a shot on target since that 25th minute goal. So that means we have not been creating anything.
See what happens now, though. Nothing from here. Spurs are going to keep huffing and puffing, but I don't think they'll be able to blow the house down. Jed Spence now with an opportunity, and Saliba bundles him off.
Your defense of Gabby and Saliba, right? It's one of the best in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, right?
One of the best, but in recent times we've been found wanting. And when in those moments, when we're found wanting, we have more often than not been punished. Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. And then, of course, Newcastle. Need I say more?
Yeah, but in the league, you've done quite okay, right? So.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, Manny said 2-1 Arsenal. Oh, yeah. Maybe finishes like that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do much of it. It's as though Steve has got his prediction spot on for now, but you still can't tell with these games. There's always some time, and By the way, Eugene, do you remember that time you beat us when that snake William Gallas was came back to the Emirates as Tottenham captain? I think it was Yunus Kabul who got the winning goal that day, right?
Yeah, that was the only time we beat you guys in this stadium. Was it? No. Yeah. Oh dear. And can we get it? No, we give the ball away again. Yeah, and that's how you defend.
Yeah, and that is the experience of Shan Saliba there. Saliba is now obviously a full French international, and he was in fact the first choice for France ahead of Ibrahima Konate to partner Upamecano when they played the Euros. But France still weren't able to make the final. And there are moments when Saliba has also looked a little bit off the boil. And again, I love watching those two as a defense, but there are moments when they look very sloppy indeed, and that's not really a good thing.
No, but man, you must
And,
understand, right? You are in the Champions League, right? The games come thick and fast. Sometimes, to tell the truth, right, the players are just human, you know. So there will be times where they are either physically tired, mentally tired, right, and they themselves do not know. That's why there's this lapse of concentration coming in. You get what I'm saying? But for Spurs, we've got no excuse because number one, our manager is comfortable in conceding just as long we are entertaining, right, and we go on the front foot. So, but the sad part is, right, in this game, the ball, we haven't had a shot on target since Son scored that goal. Think about it, right?
yeah, well, interesting pass
So,
play here, chipped cross, and Raya did catch it cleanly, one-handed. And this is what I don't like about Raya. Sometimes, he tries to do the spectacular, and he ends up at times making a fool of himself. Unfortunately, he doesn't get punished. But one of these days, he could end up getting punished.
look at that.
I
It
mean, he
bumps
sort
into
of bumped Richarlison, and Richarlison was sort of penalised there. I mean, if I were, Arteta, I'd be saying, David, knock off the fancy stuff. Just be a little bit more simple. And very nearly a chance there, but this time Odegaard puts it wide. And that normally would be the moment when we, seal the game. But because of our own profligacy, you're still in it.
Yeah, how? Because we gave the ball away in midfield again. Look at that.
Well, I'm looking now, and you are.
We just have to be. Oh, we just have to be hardcore, realistic about this, right? The Spurs team is not at the level of the Arsenal team. Simple as that, right?
I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are. We've competed in quotation marks for the league. You haven't been able to quite match our level. And I'm not being, derogatory. I'm just saying that I agree that you're not quite our level. And some argy-bargy going on there between Bergval and Lewis Skelly. This is where it gets heated up. This is where what you love to see in a North London derby, as long as it doesn't spill over.
Yeah, I know. So we get a corner and nothing happens from it, right?
Oh yeah, but what Lucas did there was stupid. That was cynical. That's not the way, son. I'm sorry.
Bergval's got this mean streak in him, or something. Oh, you can call it the bozo gene, right?
Shenko and Marino about to come on. And it looks as though it'll be Lewis Skelly and one of our central midfielders coming off. So no Georgie Porgy. I'm happy. At least not yet.
Oh, Bergval is the one that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Bit nasty there from the youngster.
So Marino comes on and Zinchenko comes on for you, right?
Yeah, Marino and Zinchenko, and there's and Lewis Skelly ends up getting a booking for his troubles because he was supposed to go off on the side, but he walked off across the field. It's starting to kick off a little bit, but a little parting gift there for the youngster, and now he's sort of hyping up the crowd at the clock end, I think. And Declan Rice is also coming off, so it's Rice and Lewis Skelly off, and Marino and Zinchenko on, and this is interesting because now he's got two supposed left backs on. I wonder what formation is he trying to do, or maybe he's just trying to shut up shop.
No, I guess he'll just shut up shop, right? Because we are toothless, bro.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Zinchenko can't defend for peanuts. You know that.
Maybe he'll defend for bananas though.
But he is a pretty decent attacker, though, and
yeah.
And that's the thing. He's already gone up forward to try and make something happen, and we're now into the last 2.5 minutes of normal time, and stoppage time will be upon us very soon. And at this point, I want to say I'm really grateful for inviting me on, and I'm really grateful once again that I've had no issues with the quality of the stream in terms of the audio and having to go and come back on. So once again, let me just say, terima kasih.
Yep, you're welcome, Manny. You're welcome. Good to do a stream with you. Haven't seen you for such a long time. Oh yeah. According to Luca, right? Steven's anniversary is coming up soon. So maybe
February.
Maybe you can plan a stream for him or something like that. Maybe reach out to Miss Mel or something.
Yeah, Let me know. Mel's normally the one who's she is actually in London right now. She ends up flying from Toronto to London very frequently just to watch the Arsenal play. I mean, that woman must be loaded with, lucky her, but she also has a very good job. She gets paid a fortune.
Yeah, she's a lawyer, bro.
But I know she's a lawyer, but you know, we'll see what happens, and it is something that we could possibly plan. Obviously, I want to get a few more people to come on that stream.
Yeah. Luca is
and we'll sort of see how everything pans out.
Yeah. So I'm
also really glad that I got. Added time hasn't been decided yet because we're now into the last minute of normal time, and we'll find out how many minutes are going to be added. There could be some considerable stoppages, maybe. I mean, there was some stoppage time in the first half, I think, with Porro going down.
No, but I think there's not much stoppage time, right? Maximum 2 because of the subs. 3.
Maybe, but we'll find out soon enough. And
we are still playing out of the back while it's in the 90th minute of the game.
Yeah. Maybe in some respects, if the stay is 2-1, it could be a victory because at least you haven't conceded more than 2.
That's what we do. We always lose when we lose. We lose by 1 goal, apart from the Liverpool game, right? And sometimes when we win emphatically, right? 4-5-0. So that's where the goals difference, and we look good in that sense. So I don't know, a loss is still a loss, right? I don't even know what to say about this game today, right? We took the lead, but we couldn't defend. We gave the ball away one time, and we conceded 1 goal, and 1 goal came from a corner, and it was an own goal. So what's there to say? Unless in the next injury time, will we get an equalizer? Then maybe it'll put a different spin on the game. But at the moment now, I'm not impressed. That's all.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, Arsenal 5 minutes at a time.
5 minutes, but 1 minute has already been played, so Spurs are starting to run out of time. And of course, with this win, we move back up to second in the table, but we're still some way behind Liverpool, and let's not forget they also have that game in hand. I believe that we're 4 points, but we might be 4 points behind Liverpool. I want to check the table.
4 points, yeah, but Liverpool's got a game in hand.
Yeah, and that game in hand will, of course, be against an Everton team that also cannot score for toffee, pun intended.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not excited about the Villa clean sheet, Steve, because this Everton team have only scored 15 goals so far. They've always had this problem. I mean, they've never been able to get any kind of striking option. I think they depended a bit too much on Calvert-Lewin trying to get back to fitness, the local boy. They seem to love him a little bit too much, but it's just not quite working. And especially under Dyche, it hasn't worked. At least under Moyes, if they can maybe start scoring again, then they should see themselves out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
Yeah.
an interesting stat is that Solanke there with a very unorthodox, almost outrageous attempt at a bicycle kick, didn't quite get it on target. Lovely cross in, but a bit too far beyond Solanke, and he just couldn't get the connection there. You'll see it soon. And Ange is... So, Ange's record...
It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Now, but the thing with Everton, right? Do they have money to spend this Jan transfer window?
They should spend a bit of money. They should try and get a striker. The only problem is they're going to have to really look for a striker that can, at least hit a barn door. If they want Kai Havertz, they're welcome to him. Maybe Moyes can get a tune out of him.
I don't know. Like that. Take Wiener. Take Wiener. Please take Wiener.
Yeah. And then also, let's not forget Eddie Nketiah. He still only scored one goal. That was against us in the League Cup. Back at the Emirates. And Crystal Palace paid 30 million quid for him.
Oh, he's at Crystal Palace. Okay.
Yep. Just goes to show that idiots and their money are always parted very quickly.
Don't worry. We paid 65 million for Solanke, bro.
Well, Solanke scored more than a few, though. I mean, Solanke's also been capped by England recently.
But
Eddie Nketiah.
We paid 60 for the pigeon.
I think Pedro's expecting a corner, but very interesting chance over here. A shot hoping to catch Ray at the near post, and it hits the post and goes out of play. He was expecting a corner because I think he thought that Ray got a fingertip to that, but he didn't. So credit to you, you've kept fighting, you've tried to find your way, but you've also been very profligate in front of goal. And I think given your attacking resources, that's not really a good look. But we haven't exactly covered ourselves in glory as an attacking team. Havertz still can't hit a horse's backside with a banjo. And, we still have a lot of questions that have to be answered.
No, but Mani, this season, you guys have been like that the whole season, right? You've been winning all these tight games. I don't know, is it part of Arteta's plan, or is he regressing? Or maybe in the summer, you guys were just got 2 attacking players instead of getting 2 defensive players, right? So
right now, though, that actually that's sort of been his way, really. I mean, he if he isn't able to play the type of football that we've enjoyed and taken for granted, then he ends up playing this sort of football where we, just stink the place out and end up getting a win. And yeah, we get these wins against these run-of-the-mill teams, but eventually we come up against a bigger team or a more committed team, and we end up coming up short, and that is going to be the end of that. Relief for Mikel Arteta, more misery for Postecoglou, and
game over.
Yep.
2-1. All right,
Yep, that's the
guys.
way.
And we don't shoot. Look at that. Yeah, game over. And Arsenal gets the game settled down. All right, let me shut this off. It's 6 a.m. Going to be 6 a.m. in Malaysia. Right. Let's end the show soon. Let's have a few thoughts on the game. Manny, your thoughts on the game? Were you impressed, or it's just the way you guys have been since this whole season?
Yeah, I think we sort of covered a little bit from the recent funk that we've been in games that we didn't want to lose. And for what it's worth, we are now back to second in the league, 4 points behind Liverpool, but they do have that game in hand. Can we hope for a little bit of a stutter from Liverpool? Will remain to be seen. What I can say right now is that how we fare against Unai Emery and Aston Villa will determine if we are still in the title race. If we flop this weekend, I think we're done for. And as for Spurs, you had a few good moments, but I think it has to be said that you just didn't have the bite in the midfield that you needed. We kept, dominating you in that area. We kept pressing you off the ball. And sooner or later, I think Ange has got to start doing his homework and looking back at these games and thinking, you know what? It's time to start doing a little bit better against Arsenal, because he's now played 4 games, drawn 1, lost 3, so that's 2 points from a possible 12, and that's for return. But of course, to be fair, it's been a long time since you've beaten us at the Emirates. I think you might have had a few wins over us at your ground in between, but maybe the wheels are starting to fall off, and maybe Ange will have some questions asked about him.
Questions have been asked about him, right? To tell the truth, right? Steve, to tell the truth, yeah, congratulations, Arsenal. It's not unlucky, to tell the truth. We weren't good enough. I'll be very realistic with it, right? We weren't good enough. We went up 1-0 and we couldn't defend, right? And we'll help Arsenal even more if we can beat Liverpool on Saturday. I mean, Brentford's playing Liverpool. Oh yeah, Brentford playing Liverpool this Saturday or Sunday, right? So yeah. So all I can say is that Manny, I was only expecting a 2-2 draw as the best result, right? So I guess a loss. The only thing is that I want to see whether we have improved or show some fight. Did you see any fight from us, or any kind of sense of danger?
I think you created your share of chances, but maybe the urgency and that real fire was lacking. And I think that is something that will upset Spurs fans a great deal, because this is the sort of fixture to bring out the best in you lot more often than not.
But yeah, I know. It brought out the best of Son, right? He scored 1 deflected goal. And Son always scores against you guys, right? That's the saying, right? They say, right? But
yeah,
he need to score 1, but 1 isn't enough. Arsenal scored 2, 1 from a set piece, 1 from a giveaway. The same kind of goals we keep conceding day in, day out. So I don't know. Do you want to pick a man of the match?
Oh, it's a difficult call, that. I suppose I'd have to go for Thomas Partey, who played the entire 90 minutes and was really the reason why the midfield functioned the way it did. The problem is, though, Declan Rice is much better as more of the more defensive part of that double pivot. He's being used as a number 8, and that doesn't really bring out his better qualities. But Partey is pretty much the glue that holds everything together. And I think another candidate would be Gabriel, not just for the goal. He also did look fairly defensively solid. And yeah, I'll give it to Gabriel, because it was the Partey who had that deflection that gave Son the goal, of course. So Gabriel would be my man of the match. And just taking a look at the table, as you've said, if Manchester United win their game, which I think is tomorrow against Southampton, they go above you in the table. You're absolutely right. And Southampton are lambs waiting to be slaughtered.
Yep. So I've been saying the whole season, we're in for a relegation battle, right? So it is what it is. Our next game is against Everton, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what happens there. And
You should win that. They can't.
we don't know, right? We really don't know. So when the time comes, we'll find out. For me at the moment now, all I can say is that 2-1 the scoreline. I don't know, underwhelmed, overwhelmed. Honestly, to tell the truth, don't have much feelings about it. If we have drawn, then maybe they'll make me a bit more, what winning would be a surprise, drawing would be satisfactory. Losing is, I think, I guess, accepted. That's a sad thing, right? Yeah, a
Yeah.
double A against Spurs money. You must be a happy man. All right, guys.
Well, I
Thanks
mean,
for being on. Yeah. Let me say thanks to all the guys in the chat. Steve, right, from Mr. Beehive, Football Chat. Who else do we have? Eva Man, big up Eva Man, right? Always a big support. Nippon was here. Jens, yeah, big up Jens. There'll be lots to talk about this Sunday. Oh, we're gonna play Sunday. The 2 games for you to talk about, right? And of course, Luca was here earlier too. Big up to Luca, right? So I guess there won't be any kind of emergency podcast for Luca today. That since Arsenal's won. Manny, thanks for being on. I really have to go because it's 6 a.m. in Malaysia now, right?
yeah, go to sleep. Go to
So
sleep.
yeah, I need to go to sleep soon. Thanks for the support, guys. Right, big up, right? And as always, leave you out.